Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to kind of walk you through the last 3 months of my goal setting, and then we'll talk a little bit about 2020. I think I've given you updates throughout the year, and I think I might have even gone over a little bit of the setup for the fall. Just as a reminder, this is where my goals ended up for the last 3 months of the year. And full disclosure, I'm not super good about filling out the tending lists. I am trying to be better about that, especially some of like the daily action stuff, and putting some of this more in my planner. I think if you've watched any of my past videos, I have goal setting inserts that kind of bring all of this together. So I'm hoping to put some of this in here, so basically I can update from my planner to my tending list when I do my weekly review. So hopefully that'll allow me to A, keep it in the front of my mind, but B, also be able to look back at progress. Because right now I look at this, I'm like, I didn't really do anything, which to be honest, I might not have, because October was kind of busy. I didn't even get the month in review filled out. I just went straight into November, which November, I was basically home 10 days out of the entire month. So yeah, I was trying to be, as you can see, this is when I was traveling. So I really wasn't home a whole heck of a lot, and I was trying to be nice to myself and just not stress out. So a lot of this is stuff that I could do on the fly and kind of while I was out and about in Dallas or in Greenville, where I was for work for a week, or in Illinois. So I did just fill this out like right before I filmed this video because I had not done it yet, even though we're in December. Goals that are growing well. To be honest, I kind of looked at it and was like, I don't really know that anything was growing well this month. I was just basically in survival mode, which it happens. Sometimes you just have to try and survive. But I think one thing really, we all have an idea of what, if you celebrate Christmas, what Christmas looks like, or what that big holiday that happens in the winter looks like for you. And because so many things are different, I'm trying to remind myself not to stress out about it. It's just me at the moment until Gary gets home more towards Christmas. He'll be in town just like a few days before. So I'm not going to go all out and completely decorate the house. I'm trying to keep things kind of quiet, if that makes sense. I'm trying to quiet the house and just have it be more restful and peaceful. So if anything, I'm taking things out of the decor and trying to clear things off. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at more clear surfaces. So that's more of my goal. I'm trying to take things off of surfaces rather than adding to. So I did go through some of the prep work. It's still going to be kind of busy. Gary's family is coming in for Christmas as well, his mom and sister. So we'll have company then. So again, because I have a lot going on, more so at work, that's not necessarily goal related, it's just emergent projects, as I've heard them called. I'm trying to focus more on self-care and getting a few things done for the shop and kind of wrapping up some financial stuff, so I have that ready to go. But I am trying to be better about keeping track of my daily habits. Again, put that in my planner so that I can kind of transfer that forward. So that is where I'm ending up. I'm kind of, you could almost say I'm kind of going out with a bit of a whimper. I'm not pushing to get stuff done, whatever, but I'm just now kind of coming out of a super stressful season, and I don't want to push through December. I just want to kind of relax. I mean, I've gotten as much done as I'm going to get done, and I just want to kind of rest and kind of recharge and be ready for 2020 so that when it's time to start working on those goals, I have the energy to do so. So that being said, this is my new Powersheets book. I may have shown it to you before. Obviously, I'm team floral. They had several different covers, but I went with the floral one. I thought it was really pretty. So I have gotten through all of my prep work because I've been doing it kind of as I've been traveling. As you can see, I started in November. So I had goal ideas, and you'll see that a lot of them actually carried forward from last year. I did write down kind of all of my roles, I guess, or areas of focus, just so I can make sure that I was keeping those in mind when I was setting goals. It was nice, the values section here, I could actually bring that forward out of my planner. 'Cause in my reference section, I did a value exercise quite a while ago, and these have not changed. So I was able to bring those forward. I actually, last year with my husband, took a quick quiz on the 5 love languages and figured out mine was affirming words, which is kind of interesting. So I got that all filled out. What fires me up? A lot of that's kind of the same and hasn't really changed. My cultivated life evaluation. And I don't remember where I found this, but if you are doing these, it might be interesting to have kind of a reference point. So I had seen somewhere that 1 to 3 is suffering, 4 to 6 is surviving, and 7 to 10 is thriving. So you'll notice 2 of these I actually adjusted my ratings on. So, or 3, I guess, based on finding that scale. So this is where this ended up. And then I put arrows next to the 3 that I really wanted to kind of focus on. So we had the identity box exercise, who I really am. It was interesting to look at 10 years ago versus today. I wrote a lot more than I had space for, but that's okay. Let's see. Good things and what challenges were. As far as good things, I found kind of a meal plan subscription that's really worked for me, especially right now since I'm just mostly cooking for myself, using the Write the Word journal, finding a way to travel frequently and work remotely. Emma has been a good thing this year. And lately, since I've been focusing on self-care, that's been a good thing. Challenges, obviously this last year has been a huge year of change for me. And doing so much more traveling than usual and not being able to really keep any sort of routines established. And I am a creature of habit. So it's finding the new normal has been a real challenge for me. Let's see. So we had a lessons I've learned section. What remains confusing, unanswered, or unresolved. What my new normal is. Let's just be honest. I don't know what my new normal is. I'm still trying to figure that out. The people I'm grateful for, big picture. Some of this was kind of like, didn't really felt it applied or wasn't really helpful. So if you are working on Powersheets and there's something that you don't feel applies to you or that you're not really interested in working through, just skip it. You can always come back if you decide to, but not everything I think is necessary for the goal section, the goal setting section. Let's see, I have threads marked, but my cultivated year was, which actually this brought around me rewriting, at least for the winter, of what my morning routine looks like. So that was kind of interesting. Making sure I'm kind of giving myself slow, puttery starts and ends and kind of, it sounds strange, ritualizing the beginning and ending of the day. Just marking it as a little bit more sacred with self-care and purposefully taking care of the house and stuff like that. Because a lot of times I feel like I wake up late, I rush through what I'm trying to get done and race out the door. I want to, I guess, practice a little bit more mindfulness. So brainstorming my year ahead. So kind of goal brainstorm stuff. Things I'm saying no to, what I'm saying yes to. And I think my 2020 word so far, I have not yet felt like I needed to change it, is tend. So want to work on caring for myself, pay attention to my marriage, focus on nurturing the rental housing association that I'll be the president of. And so yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of tending to stuff that is already in progress and keeping it going and making sure that it's moving in the right direction. All right, so the best year section, vision board I didn't bother with. Let's Let's see. So this was a list of goals. A lot of it actually has remained the same. Just as a side note, if you have one of the old Inkwell Press planners that came with the ruler fits in here, which is really nice. I've enjoyed being able to flip back and forth using this. I don't think they actually sell these anymore, which I'm kind of sad about, and I don't know if anybody else has a similar bookmark for coil binders, but just as a side note, if you have one kicking around, they do fit. So these are my 2020 goals, and a lot of these are similar to last year. So let me actually bring last year's goals. So health I changed just slightly. I liked the idea, but I think the wording could have been better. So last year it was establish habits that support a healthy life. This year I have reclaimed my health through healthy food, regular self-care, and movement I enjoy. I broke out a few things here. Instead of having spouse, family, friends, community, I went ahead and just went to spouse, purposefully tend our marriage. Same goal here for my YouTube / Etsy, whatever you want to call it, my side hustle is the quick way to reference it. Home is still the same. Create a home that fosters rest and connection. That was last year's. This year I have cultivate. So considering I have to kind of dig through things and get rid of stuff, I think cultivate was a little bit more appropriate. Let's see, finance. Last year was complete a comprehensive financial review and update goals. This year, since I have done that, I want to finish paying off my remaining student and auto loans, which actually I think both will be paid off anyway, even if I don't do anything. Maybe the student loans might not, but I want to snowball, just get rid of all of that. And then pretty much just the only long-term stuff would be the house. And then I want to try and snowball all of that into savings. I'm not quite there yet, but I think I'm almost to the point where I need to consider setting money aside for a new car. So that may be one thing that I'm working on. Work / industry, which was this Cambridge one here. Last year I was trying to work on updating current policies, procedures, and supporting documents. This year I'm trying to get stuff on autopilot so that I can pay attention to my role as president. I'm not sure how much time that's going to take, but I want to make sure that I am giving myself enough time so I'm not trying to cram too much into everything. Spiritual growth has not changed. And then I added recreation. So this, if you've heard me talking, I actually don't know that I've talked about it too much. I think I've hinted at it on Instagram when I was talking about productive flourishing. I would potentially like to try and create a quarterly seasonal e-zine. And I think that's all I'm going to say about that right now, because it's a goal, it's a big goal, and it's something that I am still fleshing out. So anyway, I did start working through my action plans. Let me actually put this in here. So the health one is pretty much fleshed out. Goal 2, I've done a little bit of work on. Kind of started on side hustle things. Some of these, I think that's actually where I've stopped. I haven't worked through all the mini goals yet. I did start working on the questions that go along with it. So why, what the positive effect is, what's at stake if I don't start, and kind of brainstorming what needs to happen. So I've done the brainstorming, I just haven't on a lot of these figured out exactly what the mini goals will be. So that is that section. Yearly overview I've started working on. Mostly I've been filling in travel, things like really large projects that happen every single year, and started to kind of figure out what my year is going to look like next year. And that's kind of where it stops. Have not done anything for January yet. My goal is to take this back with me and actually do some annual planning when I am back in Dallas this next time. And so that's actually when I think I'm going to start working on the January setup so that it's ready to go. trying to get a lot of my year-end, quarter-end planning done a little early so that I can enjoy Christmas and the week after when we have company without thinking that, oh, I need to sit down and plan out kind of what January is going to look like. I'd like to kind of have that all ready to go. So we just kind of step into January already. So that is where I am right now with the Powersheets and everything. I'm kind of curious, are you using Powersheets? Let me know down in the comments if you are. If you're using something else, I think there's a Moxie Life planner, which is something very similar to this. It's goal setting and it has some other, it's not exactly the same prep work. It may not be as much prep work. They may just kind of toss you in for people who are more experienced with it. I've looked through a couple of flip throughs. If I can remember whose it was, I will link it down below. I think it might have been on Jennifer McIntosh, I think it's her name. Wildflowers and Marbles. I think it might have been on her blog where she did kind of not so much a filmed walkthrough, but did a written walkthrough with pictures. So whatever it is that I was reading, I will link that down below so you can look at it. So if this isn't for you, then that might be. It's about the same price. Again, it's coiled binder, and it might actually also be a planner as well. This newly in this section here does have like a monthly calendar in it, so you can schedule things out. So I think in the old planner where it had you write down just a written list here of as far as what's on your calendar, important to-dos, what you're excited for, this, it actually gives you a spot to write all of that in so that you have more of a visual representation of it as opposed to just a list. So this just has goals to focus on, action ideas, and then a spot for this. So I think I actually really like this setup a little bit better because I am more of a visual person. So I am excited to be using the new format. And then this is very similar. They've just added some color and stuff to it. So anyway, let me know if you're using this, how it's going for you, or if you're using something different, because I know there's a bunch of different goal setting products out there. Just as a reminder, if you're looking for something a little more portable, I do have the goal setting inserts. Not really goal setting inserts, like goal planning inserts, where you can take all of the goal work you've done on the road with you. So I do have these in my shop. There's a bunch of different sizes. Well, actually, I think there's 3. I'm working on adding additional sizes. I think right now we have A5, personal, and the traveler's notebook size. I'm in the middle of working on B6, and I think I just need to do listing photos for that. So I'll be adding A6 and some other sizes that I've had requested as well here shortly. It just takes a little bit of time to put those together. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!